Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Well, you can see this is the kitchen Christmas tree, and I'm really annoying my roommates with the fact that it's here, and this is really dry, and I hate to think of what the water level is. So, while I tell you about my evening, I'm going to take this tree down. So, yeah, I know I already took down the one in my room last month, but this, I never really see the point in taking it down too early because, frankly, too many other things were coming up. I'm trying to find a good place where I can balance this here, where it's not going to be, where it can't fall down. One of the problems in this apartment is the floors are warped, and that means that some things are turning downward, and I certainly don't want this computer to fall on a downward slope. I will cry many tears. And since I seem to have bad luck when it comes to my tech, let's see, I don't want to put it on the table because I have a scarf covering the table, but I don't want it to block the air that's coming out of this computer. You know what? I don't want to use my makeup palettes because they have magnets in them, and magnets and hard drives are a very dangerous combination. Okay, I'm trying to get a good view of the tree here. Okay. I guess this will have to do. Yeah. I have all the boxes that these things go in. Yeah, and the Hello Kitties go here. And I have another box actually on this big rocking chair. I wanted it to not be in the frame for my turnaround. There. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to do this really quickly. And boy, these needles are very sharp. And, yeah, my roommates were expressing concern that the fact that the television cable box is right here, and they think it gets a little warm. And Christmas really is over. Wow, look at that. Look how these needles come out. I'm going to be taking another trip to my garden with some old coffee grounds because I like to put what would go in a compost heap on my plot. So I'm probably going to be gardening at the same spot that I did last summer. You know, these are really better to dismantle on a floor that doesn't have carpet. Because let me tell you, there's so many needles in the other room, and getting them out of carpeting is really not very much fun at all. I like to show this off. I just took random cat pictures after I put some Hello Kitty pictures, and I put this on. This is supposed to be a tree topper for the topmost branch. And if I hadn't picked up all these branches to make these so-called trees, we wouldn't have had anything by way of decorating this year. this is something I made that when I made it, I was trying to go for a design that looked like pot leaves. Oh, it's hard to tell what you see when I'm holding things up. Make sure that I actually see it's actually where the lens seems to be pointing this way. I hate it when I think I'm filming something and I think that you get a certain view and you don't see quite what I think the camera sees. Father Christmas. Well, no, this is Santa Claus. I'm pretty sure that we do have some British ornaments. So the band I went to see tonight, I went to the Gold Nugget for their Flashback Friday series. They had a Queen tribute, and the band was called Queen Flash. They were from Canada, and they were quite good. And now, I had already planned exactly the bus that I was going to take so that I would arrive there a few minutes before the doors were supposed to open. And I think I had read on Facebook today that they might be opening a little bit earlier, but I didn't have a whole lot of sleep, and I was trying to get dressed and painted up and organized with some other things and make sure that I had was going to get there on time. Plus, I brought a bunch of makeup with me today that I wanted to give to some other people there. You know, as a YouTuber that gets a lot of makeup for my content, sometimes I get doubles on things. And I mean, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes that'll happen, or I will be ordering something and I will accidentally get two of something. And in that case, I don't need the extra product. So if I can give things to somebody, and I also gave away one of my B&H palettes. There's this one called Wild Child that is mostly neutrals, actually. They're all frosts, but they're mostly neutrals. About the only colors that I really used in it was the frosty white, and they have a purple that's really, really dark. And they had a peachy color, like a palest frosty orange. And really, those were the only colors that I used in the palette. One time I used the earth tones in the palette the day of the Miss America pageant parade. And I went to this Cajun restaurant called Bourrée. I think it's on New York Avenue. And I want to go back there for their Cajun food because I love things like jambalaya and what else do you call that? The stuff they make in New Orleans. Gumbo. And the menu looks really good. So, but one time I went there for that. I decided to go in drag, and for that I only used earth tones. And so, anyway, that was, ooh, damn, these things hurt. That was the last time I was there. I lost my train of thought. Look at this. Look at how these needles just come off of these branches. So, that restaurant does takeout. I may get some takeout sometime. I was talking to my mother about that place, and she, I think, would like some food from there. I would like to take my mother out there with me, but my mother, she just doesn't get around too much these days. All she does is go to medical appointments, and if that's not what she has to do, she just doesn't go out. And when she walks with a walker or a cane, and she doesn't have a whole lot of energy to go like walk on a boardwalk or something. She huffs and puffs, and she gets tired. And of course, the kind of walker she has is not the kind they have now where you stand upright. It's the kind where you're all hunched over. And that's not good for your posture or your arthritis or uh, helping you to get all oxygen when you're breathing. It's not helpful because your organs are all compressed. So, yeah, I'm a little worried about my mother. So, okay, getting back to the band tonight, I allotted to get there at the normal time, but I couldn't pay too much attention to what was going on social media today because I had to really focus on getting dressed and painted for this. I already had the bus tickets, so I didn't have to wait in line to buy them. But apparently they let the people line up a little bit earlier than they usually do. So even though I got on the bus that I intended to get, when I got there were two long lines. And I thought, you know what, whatever. I'm not going to be uptight about this. I was in a really good mood because I had smoked a couple bowls before I left the house. So I was feeling and I was happy because I knew that I had this makeup that I was going to be given to some of the chicks there. And of course, you always feel good when you're doing things for other people. Plus, I mean, when you have all this stuff, you really don't need it taking up space. Oh, I hope I didn't fuck that up. Oh, you know what? I might have. So I got there, and then some lady, I forget her name, who was a few people behind me in line, said to me, "Oh, Leather, you know, a lot of people, you have pool here. Somebody will get you in front." And I'm thinking, yes, that does happen a lot, but I don't get arrogant about it. I don't take for granted that's going to happen. There have been plenty of times when it was standing room only, and I stood, and they have a place in the back which is near where the bar is set up. And actually, some of the better filming is done there because you can dance around there and stuff, and you can get perspective of the whole band. You can get everything in the frame. So that's one advantage to that. But the funny thing is, and I told the lady that told me this, that, sometimes it happens, it doesn't always, but not 5 minutes after she told me this lady who I didn't know, little old Chinese lady, didn't speak very much English, came up to me about here, sweet face, came up to me, says, "Are you by yourself?" I says, "Yes." She said, and she was in the line that had gotten, I don't know how many seats ahead of me she would have been if I had gotten in whatever seat my spot in line would have put me. She said that she would save a seat for me. So I'm thanking her, of course. I'm thinking that's really groovy. Well, when they let us in, she was all the way up in front. So this is like front row seat. That's great, right? But I was looking for some of my friends that were there because I had this makeup that I wanted to give to them, and sometimes it's better to hang out in the standing area because if you hang out in the standing area, you could see the people as they're coming in. And what people usually do when they get there early, they put a coat or something on their seat and a seat that they're saving, and then they go and get something at the bar, or they go to the restroom, or they get popcorn, and I think they're selling candy now. So they have different things for people to buy out there. And some people even go back to the slot machines or something. And there's also the Rush Lounge. People sometimes go and watch the bands play there. And they just arrange to come back just before the band that they're coming to see here goes in place. But now, of course, there's always the concert t-shirt contest they have, where everybody that wears a concert t-shirt, they have them, the DJ for the radio station has them stand up, and by crowd applause, whoever has the best t-shirt wins something that the radio station's giving away. Usually it's concert tickets, sometimes it's lottery tickets, different things. And I rarely bother wearing concert shirts there anymore. I was for a while, but let's face it, t-shirts aren't the most figure flattering thing. And most of my t-shirts are, even if they're small adult size, that's still not very flattering on my body. It's big and it's loose, and you know, sometimes I'll have a concert shirt, and I'll bring it with me, and I'll just throw it on over the dress or whatever that I'm wearing, and then take it off after the contest. And I try to wear my best shirts, meaning the shirts are the oldest and have the most, I think, the kind of significance that a person at these rock shows would appreciate, you know. But my shirts have never won. And after a while, going through the effort of thinking, to have something that's covering up your outfit, just in the off chance that it may win a contest, you know. And then you're slipping it up over your hair, and if my hair's teased up, that would kind of mess it up. You know, and I'm thinking, is it worth it? So I didn't bother wearing a concert shirt today. Oh, this dress. What do you think of this dress? This is, I wore it like a jumper. Wore it with a sweater underneath it. But this dress is new. And it's got, I guess, a heart cut out. Oh, and if there's a hole in the sweater, I mean, by the time, I've known about it, but I've been a little too lazy to do anything about it. So I figured, hoping that it wouldn't be obvious when I went out tonight. But you know what? Excuse me if I don't have a tailor on speed dial, you know what I mean? So, okay, I get to the thing, I end up front row center. Then, I finally find some of the friends that I was looking for there. And, gave some of my makeup to one of my friends there. Then she asked me if I had any weed, and I said, no, I don't. So then she says, come with her and somebody else, and there was a little party somewhere, not on the premises, you know, we're not stupid, we wouldn't do anything like that, but we had a little puff pass. Then we came back there. Then a few minutes later had another puff pass, and this was good weed, okay? Then there was this couple that went there. It was their first time there, and it was their wedding anniversary or something. And they'd never been to Flashback Fridays before. And they asked the Chinese lady if there was any seats up front. And so we did some juggling of where we were all seated. And I was still front row, but moved kind of to the right so that there could be this unbroken pair of seats, so that that couple could watch the show. And if you guys are watching the video, hello. It was nice meeting you. So the band was really good. Oh, here's another of my homemade balls. What I used for the thing the loop that you stick your hanger came out, and one of the things that I use to have a loop thingy, this is actually from a package of socks, and a tiny loop that attaches to the cardboard thing that the socks are on, and I just attached that to the ball, and now I have something that all I have to do is put a ball hanger on, and I have a way to hang it up. Oh. So the band was really good. Before the band went on though, as I walked around some, people kept coming up to me, and I was wearing a MAGA hat. Okay, I wear that hat every time I go there now. And the people like it come up to me and they tell me that the hat's cool, and got some of these big Italian guys that go there, and they come to me and says, "Hey, Leathur, I love your hat, man. If anybody gives you any grief, let me know. I take care of it." So they're really a lot of goodwill at the Golden Nugget. Look at this. Oh boy. You know what? Let me get the trash can. Hold on a second. Oh boy. Oh wow. Oh. Ouch. Ouch. Whew. Oh, a few more ornaments. Don't want to throw these out. I can, I'm going to do a makeup tutorial after this. After I do that, I'll just take this straight to the trash outside. Oh, you know what? I think I may need to put these in a bag. Well, I'm not going to bother with that right now. You got the gist of it. I'm going to get ready for the makeup tutorial now. But at least I have the tree taken down. These branches, get rid of them, sweep up the needles, and my roommates will have one less thing to bitch about. So, oh yeah, so I should finish the rest of my story then. So I saw the band play, and as I usually, after the bands play, I go to Rush Lounge and I get my dance on. And this time I went there just for a few minutes with some people that I know, but they sat in the part, there's like half it's smoking designated, the other half's not. And there's a band playing, and then a DJ. And when DJ was playing, I don't even remember what the band was, but the DJ was playing by the time that we got there. And I heard a song that I liked, so I have to go and dance to it. So I danced a couple of dances, and then I'm thinking, let me check on them to see where they are. And the lady said, she lives not too far from me. She says, "Do you want ready to go?" And I said, "Sure." She offered me a ride home, right? So then she asked me if I would think of driving her car, and she had a couple of drinks. Okay, now I have driven before. I had a driver's license, but I have not driven since like the year 2000. Okay, and I've only driven one car in my whole life, and that was a sports car. And another thing, my vision is not with any kind of correction right now, and plus this is driving at nighttime. And I am not confident in my ability to see at nighttime. That makes me really nervous. And also another thing, the way that I know sort of kind of how to get from the Golden Nugget to my apartment is the jitney route. The jitneys are the buses that are used for public transportation in Atlantic City. They have jitneys, and then they also have the city buses. But that's a different route than the route that she took. The route that I'm used to taking goes past the Golden Nugget, then passes by I think the Borgata, and then just it goes around, it loops around in a way. Whereas the way that she went through the tunnel, and I think it looked like it took some of the expressway there, but yet there was no toll booth, and if it was an expressway, there would be they would have seen a toll booth, and I didn't see that. But the thing is that I know that it's a risk to be in a car where somebody's had a couple of drinks. But I also know that there would be a liability for me what if we got pulled over and I was driving and I'm driving without a license? And it would be more likely for me to be pulled over if I drive erratically because I can't see in front of me. And they might even think that I'm under the influence of something. And the thing is, if they were to take a urinalysis test on me, they sure wouldn't find any alcohol on me. I haven't had a drink since 2004, okay? But I know the only time I ever got pulled over driving in my life was when I was only had a couple of days licensed driving experience, and it was in New Jersey. And I was with my mother and some of her friends were in the back seat, and we were on our way to a friend of hers' birthday shower somewhere, and it was out in the mainland Atlantic City in an unfamiliar area, kind of like a rural area, and I live in a city, okay, and I'm really, once you get into those country areas, they don't have as many street lights, and it's very, very dark, and you're limited by just what your headlights gives you the light, and depending on the signage and stuff, and it's really hard to see. So, and I didn't know that you could do a certain kind of left turn, because even though you know some of the laws, the New Jersey laws and everything, I was getting ready to go to California, so I probably knew California laws better than New Jersey laws, but which isn't an excuse. But bottom line is, I don't know that I have the confidence, since I haven't been behind the wheel of a car in so long, to get behind the wheel of her car, even though it would be safer maybe. Well, I mean, what would be safer? Her driving after a couple of drinks, or me driving when I haven't driven since the year 2000, even though I'm sober? But okay, you can say, oh, I had a little bit of weed in me. But the thing is, I am such a regular smoker that it doesn't stay in me long, and I don't feel really, unless I take regular tolerance breaks. Um, if I smoke now, for instance, like in an hour, I'm probably won't feel it at all. So certainly by the time I probably could have gotten behind the wheel, I wouldn't have felt anything at all. But the thing is, really, I don't know how to get exactly from there to here. And while, yes, it would behoove me to have access to a car to have some practice, because there is going to be a point where I'm going to need to get a license again. Certainly if I'm going to get that jitney that I want to get the hell out of here, I'm going to have some driving experience. And a jitney, that's a totally different vehicle. That's big, and it's like a minibus, right? And I've never parked anything like that before. I've never driven anything big like that. I had a Dodge Daytona Turbo Z. It's fire engine ready. I love that car. It had ground fix, and it had power steering, and it had power windows, electric windows, and it had this tilting steering wheel that you could have it like totally trucker style, where it's like a record platter, or you can have it tilted so that it's like this way. And because you could tilt it, it's easier to get in and out of it. Like if you're skinny, it doesn't matter. But like if there was heavier people, they get in and out of it real easy, and it had a hatchback. And it's really like if you're moving across the country, you could really move your stuff, So I love that car. But that and this one Camaro that I shared driving privileges when I went to Tijuana, which that's a story. I should tell you about that sometime. But that's the only other car I've ever driven. So when you have somebody late at night, when it's hard to see, and you're nervous about driving, and it's like, I don't know what the legal liability is there. And I hope I'm not taking too much of a chance, getting in the car with somebody who's had a couple of drinks, but I could say to myself, it wasn't that many, and the person isn't really, really skinny, so they probably metabolize, they could drink a lot more alcohol than, say, a person similar with my body weight, and believe me, there is a reason why I quit, okay? So, yeah, but that's kind of a dilemma, when a person wants you to drive just because they can. But if you don't have a license, and it's like, I'm flattered that she trusts me and everything. But the thing is, what if something, God forbid, happened? Then what would happen with her insurance if she let somebody else drive? And it's a whole legal thing, and it's like, oh, jeez. So, but it was a great time at the casino, and the Gold Nugget's really wonderful. And if you ever get a chance to see a Queen tribute called Queen Flash, go see them. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. I make new videos 3 times a week for your viewing pleasure. Until then, I will talk to you soon. Bye.